You are thirsty if you do the following. If you lack motivation, if you lack drive, if you lack discipline for your life. Well, I disagree with you on that because I am void of those attributes and I believe myself not to be a thirsty man, especially for women. Listen, bourgeoisie, I'm only going to say this once. And if you're stupid, you might not understand it. But if you're smart, like me, it's not that difficult of a concept. You are using women as a tool to escape your disgusting reality. And that's just the truth. Funny story. Years ago, while I was in college, I had this guy. I wouldn't call him my friend because I don't hang around with those kind of people. Let's categorize him as an acquaintance. He hurried into the room one day. Alarmed, what's the problem? He didn't say a word. Grabbed his brush, brushed his teeth, came out, grabbed towel, went back in, dried his body, came out now, put on a pair of pants and some worn out t-shirt with a hat that looked like it was from the early 2000s. Putting on some perfume. Where are you headed? Well, my friend, I'm headed to the female campus and I'm going to do 1,000 approaches in an attempt to get me. Okay. Fast forward a few years later, I was at this art event. I saw a picture, admiring it, and I asked the tour guide, who painted this? Well, he's a very great artist and I want to see him. The meeting with this artist make you purchase this piece of art. I said, well, if the price agrees with the artist, then why not? She hurried off to get me the artist. While admiring this portrait, something remarkable happened. Someone said from behind, well, beautiful portrait, isn't it? And I turned back. This was the exact same guy who loved women. Let's call him Mark. Mark, how are you, sir? How are you? Very good to see you. How are you doing? We exchanged pleasantries. And I tried to use women as an entry point because I'm a very observant individual and I study what each man loves and use that as a point of contact. But he was repulsive to this idea. We ended up talking about something else and we exchanged contacts. I wouldn't go into details of describing who this person is because of confidential purposes, but he had changed a lot. It seemed like women no longer appealed to him. What caused this change, Mark? I found something I love doing. I'm doing XYZ. I can't say what I'm doing currently, but it's giving me fulfillment. Something I picked out from that experience is most people do not chase women because of the women themselves. They chase them because they're trying to use that activity as a distraction of their loser life. And this is a similar thread I've noticed among all the important people I've met. 30% of their conversation is mostly about women. And I know this might seem mind-boggling, even to me in fact, the communicator of this truth. I spent most of my time learning about macroeconomic trends, how to take advantage of opportunities, how to do this, how to do that, how does this business benefit my cause, and learning all of those information such that when I'm in a networking position, I'll be able to not just communicate value, but as to why that value is needed in the life of the individual. So 30% of their conversation is about women. Yes, we talk about business and economic trends and how Jeremy Powell, the chief or the chairman of the Federal Reserve, is doing us good. We talk about all of that. But when you are in a realm, imagine walking into a room where every single person is wearing $1 million watch, every single person has a Ferrari on the driveway, every single person is valued in the billions. What then becomes the value system? I can sure guarantee that money is no longer the value system in that situation. So you have to adapt to that dynamics, and in that dynamics, women becomes the chiefest of value. So showing up to an event, a networking event with a supermodel or some attractive lady is a plus for you. Now, how does all of this relate to you, the listener? The truth is, it doesn't. It doesn't relate to you. You're broke, you don't have money, you can't go to a networking event and meet all these important people, or text a supermodel and she'll reply. So it doesn't apply to you. But let me tell you what does apply to you. You have no ambition, you have no drive. And this has seeped into your productivity as a whole. Most of you, your interaction with women is mechanical. You force things. Your responding late was supposed to be a byproduct of hard work, not some she texted me by X time, so I will delay by X time as well. No, you responding late was supposed to be as a result of being so busy and locked in with something else that you do not have time. Look at the beach text. Some of you, a girl hits you up, and after 2 days of delaying your text, okay, she didn't respond 2 days earlier, so I'm going to delay by 30 minutes. What's the time? 2 p.m. So when it's 2:30, immediately text. Not even a second goes by. That's the reality for most of you, because you are free. You are too free. You have nothing going on in your life. As a result, you are replacing it with all these bad habits because they are the easiest things. That is the easiest path to follow. But I'm going to state this for a fact. Anything easy is generally unacceptable, and it does not qualify for rewards. Most of you are taking the easy route. Most of you are doing the easy things. Many of you have all these bad habits that you are battling with, not as a result of the addiction, but you lack nothing. There's nothing to do. You see, there's something funny about life. Many people are trying to overcome various addictions, various problems, be it pornography or drunkenness, too much of some kind of chemical or substance or an activity that is not productive, addicted to, and you're trying to battle this addiction. The truth is, even though you go into the most skilled rehab center, once you leave them, instantly you relapse. That's why 70% of people after rehab, they revert back to the initial status, because they are going back to the environment that reinforces that activity. Most of you say, okay, I would quit alcohol. You quit alcohol. Fine. What else? What next? There's nothing else to do. There's nothing else for you to grasp onto. So you're using those activities to compensate for your monumental failure. Most of you are failures. Most of you are so useless that if someone was to walk through that door and say, hey buddy, let's go get gas, you say, give me 5 minutes, I'll be with you. You will put on your shirt and your hat that costs less than $2 with your slides and accompany him. That's how most of you are. Here's the trajectory of the average man. He gets up in the morning, spends 4 hours on social media. It is fortunate for some destiny waster to call him. Hello bro, have you seen this series? No, I have not. I don't have money to pay for my Netflix subscription and XYZ. Don't worry yourself. Come over to my apartment. I've downloaded the whole series. You can watch. That's the life most of you are living. It is a terrible way to exist. You are merely weaseling your way to life. Terrible way to live. You are trying to use logical solutions to solve problems. But logical solutions, they don't work because that's what anyone will try and do. Use psychological problems in its stead. Most of you, the result of this addiction is not because you are addicted to that substance, it's because you are a mess up. You have nothing else to do with your time, such that you are addicted to those substance. I guarantee you, any single person who has done anything worthy of admiration, the gradual burst of excitement is more rewarding than anything they can find in a bottle of champagne. So start indulging yourself in activities that are productive, that moves you forward. Start doing difficult things. I don't need to preach how the gym is beneficial to you, how to start reading books, and read books that you are interested in. Read books with the end goal in mind. Don't read books because a YouTuber said you should read books. That activity will become frustrating over time. I remember some months ago, it should be around last year, I was doing this activity and I asked myself, why am I doing this? Because someone told me to do it. He said it will be beneficial to me. Now, whether or not this person is a liar is a different discourse in and of itself. But you need to sustain an understanding, an underlying philosophy, the reason behind the action you undertake, especially if it's something that is constant, something that you would perpetuate on a long enough time frame. Reading being one of them. Question everything you hear, question everything you see. You now see, if you fall into this category, it is you I just described, and you really need help, and you want to change your life. I've done extensive teachings on how to find your purpose, how to become the best version of yourself. Click the link or click this video you're seeing on your screen. And as always, my friend, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.